Stay here for a while. This is a quiet place. You can just listen and fall asleep. Morning reaches the forest slowly. Light does not arrive all at once here. It seeps in thin and pale through the high branches. Mist lingers between the trees, unmoving at first, as if the night has not fully let go. The outpost stands where the road narrows. Not a town, not a fortress, just a small wooden structure built to watch and wait. The road is quiet. It has been quiet for a long time. Damp earth darkens the ground beneath the trees. Leaves cling to the mud. The air smells of moss, old wood, and rain that fell sometime before dawn. Nothing announces the morning. There are no bells here, no voices, only the forest slowly adjusting to the light. The watchtower rises just above the tree line. Its wood is darkened by years of weather. The roof is uneven, repaired many times, never made anew again. A lantern still burns near the entrance. Its flame is weak now, almost unnecessary. Daylight will replace it soon. Mist drifts across the road in thin layers. It moves without urgency. The forest allows it to stay. This place was built to observe, not to interrupt. The road has been here longer than the outpost, worn down by carts, hooves, and countless quiet crossings. It curves gently into the trees, disappearing almost immediately. Whatever passes through does not stay long. Morning light touches the edges of wooden beams. It reveals scratches, knots, old repairs, marks left by time, not violence. The forest listens. Somewhere deeper among the trees, a bird calls once, then nothing. The mist thins slightly, enough to see further down the road. Not far, just enough. At this hour, the outpost feels suspended. Between night and day, between watching and resting. The purpose of the place is simple, to see what comes, and to remain when nothing does. The wooden gate is open. It is almost always open. Closing it would suggest expectation. Dew gathers along the edges of leaves. Drops fall occasionally without pattern. Each sound disappears into the forest floor. The light grows warmer, barely. Shadows shortened by an amount too small to measure. Morning is not an event here, it is a condition. The forest road breathes in the cool air. The mist responds, shifting almost imperceptibly. Nothing rushes. This outpost does not command the forest. It does not defend against it. It simply exists within it. The trees do not notice the structure, they grow as they always have. Time moves differently in places like this. Not slower, just without markers. No one waits for the day to begin. It already has. The lantern flickers once, then steadies. Its light fades naturally into the growing gray of morning. The outpost remains still. The road remains empty. And the forest, unchanged, continues to watch back. Day settles over the forest without ceremony. The light grows steadier, losing the softness of morning, but never becoming harsh. It spreads evenly between the trees, revealing more detail, more distance, without changing the quiet. The outpost remains where it has always been. Unmoved, unremarkable, necessary only by habit. The mist has mostly lifted now. What remains clings to shaded places, lingering near the ground, slow to leave entirely. The road is clearer, though, still empty. The forest is awake, not loudly, not all at once. Branches shift slightly with the air. Leaves adjust their position to the light. Insects move unseen close to the earth. The watchtower stands in full view now. Its silhouette is plain, functional, built without ornament, without pride. From here the road can be seen further than before. Bends gently, then disappears behind the trees. It offers no indication of what lies beyond. Nothing approaches. The ground has begun to dry in places. Mud darkens only the deepest impressions left by passing wheels long ago. The smell of damp earth softens, replaced slowly by wood and leaves warmed by light. Time moves quietly. There is no signal marking the middle of the day, no change of shift, no sound to announce it. The outpost does not measure time, it endures it. A breeze passes through, mild and brief. It stirs the leaves overhead, then moves on. The forest returns to stillness almost immediately. The wooden beams of the structure show their age clearly now. Cracks, faded grain, repairs layered over repairs. Nothing here is new, nothing is meant to be. The lantern by the entrance is unlit. It hangs unused, waiting for its purpose to return. For now daylight is enough, the road remains patient. If anyone were to pass, they would not be seen at once. The forest would notice first. The outpost would follow. This place was not built to stop travelers, only to observe them as they come and go. The trees offer shade, not shelter. Their roots break the soil without concern for the road shape. Nature does not adjust itself here. The watch continues without effort. No one is looking for signs. No one expects movement. The act of watching has become part of the place itself. Hours pass unnoticed. Light shifts slightly, tracing slow arcs across the ground. Shadows move almost imperceptibly, changing position without drawing attention. This is the longest part of the day, and the quietest. The outpost holds its place between forest and road, between arrival and departure, between meaning and absence. Nothing arrives, nothing leaves, and the day continues, complete in its stillness. Evening arrives gradually, not as an ending, but as a soft withdrawal of light. The forest does not change suddenly, it simply grows quieter in a different way. The sun lowers beyond the treetops, no longer reaching the road directly. Its warmth fades from the ground, leaving behind cooler tones and longer shadows. The outpost remains still. The road darkens first. Shallow impressions fill with shadow. Details that were clear during the day soften and blur. The forest begins to close in. Light gathers only where it is allowed, between trunks, along the edges of leaves, on the worn surfaces of wood. The watchtower stands darker now, its shape less defined against the trees. What was once visible becomes suggested instead. No signal marks the change. There is no bell for evening, no call, no movement. The forest knows the time without being told. The air cools. It settles low, close to the ground, carrying the faint scent of damp soil and bark. What remains of daylight lingers in the upper branches far above the road. The outpost does not prepare, it does not react, it simply remains. The lantern near the entrance is still unlit. For a while longer there is enough light to see without it. Shadows stretch across the road, slowly, without direction. They do not announce themselves. They arrive as a consequence. The forest grows denser as distance disappears. The road no longer invites the eye forward, it holds it close. Somewhere deep among the trees, a sound moves. Not a step, not a voice, just the forest adjusting itself. Evening does not bring activity here, it brings release. The effort of seeing lessens, the need to observe fades. The purpose of the outpost becomes simpler, to remain present, even as visibility declines. The final traces of sunlight thin along the tree line. They cling briefly, then fade. The lantern is lit. Its glow is modest, contained. It does not challenge the darkness. It only shapes a small pocket of certainty near the entrance. The road beyond it dissolves into shadow. Not hidden, just no longer offered. The forest accepts the light without response. Mist begins to return, faint at first. It gathers in the low places along the edges of the path between roots and stones. Movement slows, even sound feels heavier now, as if absorbed before it can travel. This is the hour when nothing is expected, no arrival, no departure. The outpost is no longer watching the road, it is simply sharing the forest's stillness. Night does not fall, it settles, and the outpost, unchanged, remains within it. By this hour, the forest no longer feels completely empty. It is still quiet, but the silence has changed. Something has been left within it. The road near the outpost looks the same as always, but if you watch longer, you begin to notice there are marks in the mud, not fresh and not old. Boot prints, they lead nowhere in particular. One closer to the edge of the road, another nearly erased as if someone stopped, considered, and moved on without choosing a direction. The outpost does not acknowledge this. It does not know how to notice. It simply stands. At the base of the tower lies a piece of cloth, rough, faded, caught on a branch or nail. It no longer matters. It is here, and it was not here before. The watchhouse door is closed, not tightly, the way it is closed when someone leaves briefly, or when they are unsure if they will return. Inside there is the faint smell of smoke, very faint, not from a fire, from embers long cooled. A cup rests on the table empty, a ring remains at the bottom from a drink that has gone cold. Whoever was here did not rush and did not stay. The forest responds slowly, it does not become alarmed. It simply accepts the fact. Birds remain silent longer than usual, not from fear, but because something unfamiliar lingers in the air, even after it is gone. One of the porch boards is slightly darker. It has been stepped on more often than the others. The outpost does not ask who passed through. It does not preserve memory. It was not built for that. If someone walked this road, it means the path is still alive. And that is enough. At moments like this, the forest does not grow dangerous. It grows attentive, not toward you, toward the idea of movement itself. The wind moves differently between the trees. It touches the ground where it did not before. Leaves lift and settle again as if testing new shapes. The marks are already beginning to fade. The mud dries. The edges soften, the forest erases faster than expected. If you watch long enough, it becomes clear. The person was not important. The passing was. The outpost remains. The road remains. And everything returns to waiting. Not because nothing happened, but because what happened was enough. When a person leaves, a place does not become empty at once. First, there is imbalance, a small error in the order of things. Something stands slightly wrong. Something has been touched and left behind. Traces remain on the road, not clear, not leading anywhere, just uneven ground, as if the soil remembers the weight but has forgotten the shape. Near the outpost, the silence feels thicker than usual, not because there are no sounds, but because they hesitate to return. The wood near the entrance bears a shallow scratch, not deep, not intentional. One of those marks left when no one tries to leave one. An empty cup still rests where it was set, not tipped, not cleared away, simply left. That is the difference. Not disorder, but incompletion. The forest senses this. It does not respond immediately. It waits. The air remains still, as if the space takes time to understand what happened, and what is no longer happening. If you look closely, attention begins to cling to small things, to unevenness, to the pauses between sounds. This is not expectation nor concern. It is the residue of attention that is no longer required. The place asks no questions, it seeks no explanation. It remains as it was left, and for now, that is enough. In time, it becomes clear that there is nothing left to wait for here. Not because something has ended, but because everything that could happen has already happened, and nothing asks to be continued. The forest no longer changes in any noticeable way. It does not freeze and it does not move forward. It remains in a state that does not demand attention. The outpost still stands as it did before, but the eye no longer lingers on it. Its shape stops being important. It simply occupies its place. The road still passes nearby, but it no longer calls. It makes no promises, it offers no direction. If you look at it long enough, it becomes difficult to remember why people walk it at all. The air is still, neither fresh nor heavy. It simply exists, and that is enough. Sounds no longer separate from one another. They do not form events. They become a background that does not need to be understood. Sometimes there is movement in the leaves. Sometimes a branch snaps. But these sounds ask for no reaction. They carry no meaning. The forest does not deliver messages. It does not try to be understood. It exists without explanation. The outpost no longer feels like a place. It is not a beginning and not an end. It is simply part of what already is. If there is silence here, it is not empty. It is filled with small, unnoticed things. So unnoticed that attention no longer holds on to them. Thoughts begin to arrive less often, not because there are fewer of them, but because they no longer interfere. Pauses appear between them, at first short, then longer, and within these pauses nothing needs to be done. Breathing evens out on its own without effort, without control. The body stops searching for a position. It has already found one. There is no need to stay alert here and no need to fall asleep. You can simply remain. The forest does not observe. It does not react. It does not wait. It allows everything to be as calm as it can be. If sleep comes, it comes quietly, without a boundary, without a transition. It does not take attention away. It simply receives it. And if you remain here, even with your eyes closed, nothing disappears. The forest remains. The outpost remains. The road remains. And that is more than enough. Thank you for staying until the end. If this story brought you a moment of calm, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. You can also stay a little longer and simply listen to the sounds of the forest. There's no need to rush anywhere.